The college basketball coaching carousel continues in Norman, where Oklahoma is hiring Loyola Chicago head coach Porter Moser as its new head basketball coach. Our Matt Norlander confirming the news. Moser replaces longtime Sooners head coach Lon Krueger. Moser led the Ramblers to their second Final Four in school history in 2018, most recently taking down one-seed Illinois to advance this year's Sweet 16. Moser spent the past 10 seasons with the Ramblers, with previous stops at Illinois State and Arkansas Little Rock. And we welcome in the aforementioned Matt Norlander. Matt, what more can you tell us about this deal? Porter Moser headed to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma Athletic Director Joe Castiglione has been in Chicago for 2 days. He flew up there. There was an interesting back and forth between Oklahoma and Loyola Chicago. The deal, I'm told, is for 6 years. I'm also told Loyola Chicago offered Moser 10 years at $2.2 million, escalating some perks like Cubs season tickets, among other items. And Moser did really struggle with this. I mean, this was something behind the scenes that people were expecting might have been able to get done on Thursday night. It dragged into Friday. Not an easy decision. Moser has turned down other big jobs before, but he's going to go to Oklahoma. He's going to go to Norman on a 6-year deal. And given the amount that Loyola was willing to pay, only stands to reason he's going to get more than $3 million annually. And we'll wait and see if he can get it done at the Power Conference level. There was interest, I can tell you from sources, there was interest from Marquette, from Indiana, from other schools, but he was not going to mess around with any of that during Loyola Chicago's NCAA tournament run. He was insistent that he not get involved with any other potential jobs until his team was knocked out of the tournament. Oklahoma's the biggest job on the market, and because of that, he's going to Norman.
Yeah, it was just a question of when he'd get a big-time job, right? He leads Loyola Chicago to the Final Four in 2018, gets into the round of 16 here in Indianapolis, knocking off the 1 seed in Illinois. When you take a look at now what he has to fill, he has to fill some pretty big shoes replacing the longtime head coach Lon Krueger.
He does, and listen, this hire is going to be tracked in the years to come because Porter Moser in the past 4 years rightfully has become one of the hottest candidates we've seen in college basketball. But prior to Loyola Chicago's surprise Final Four run, Porter Moser was a sub-500 coach in his history at Illinois State, at Little Rock, and then at Loyola Chicago up to that point. But he deserves this opportunity. Lon Krueger did a wonderful job there, made the Final Four recently, and his retirement, which actually came a year early, I'm told, due to the fact that his son got the job at UNLV, and that one of his former assistants, Lou Hill, tragically died unexpectedly in early February. Lon Krueger said, I'm going to step away and enjoy my retirement. For Moser, he's got to deal with some immediate roster issues, and he's not alone. College basketball has nearly 1,200 players in the transfer portal, but actually earlier in the day, Brady Manick, who's been a 4-year starting level player for the Sooners, senior, he's going into the transfer portal, ideally looking for one more spot before he leaves college. It's important to keep in mind with all of this news that the NCAA has allowed every single player in every single NCAA sport a bonus year of eligibility. So we are seeing many more transfers because it's a bonus. If you want to go for 1 year somewhere else, see if you can make it happen, go ahead. But it's going to be a tough gig, particularly in the Big 12 for Moser. Never coached at the Power Conference level, Hakeem. And Chris Beard now at Texas. Still got Bill Self at Kansas. Scott Drew, oh, by the way, coaching here this weekend at Baylor. So keep that in mind. He's certainly capable of doing it. It'll be tracked fervently. Moser's not a coach on the rise in terms of he's not been at this for 3-4 years. He's been a head coach for 17 seasons. And now finally, this was an offer he couldn't pass up and too big of a temptation for him.
And it's not when he goes to Norman that he's at to rebuild the program or it's in shambles or anything like that. They've been to the tournament 7 of the last 8 seasons under Lon Krueger. Of course, they get knocked out by Gonzaga in the round of 32 here in Indianapolis. But in terms of his coaching career, first season Loyola Chicago was not good. He rebuilds this program in Chicago to really not be a tournament darling, but a legit contender in the tournament as we saw this year. Can he have that same level, that same type of success in Norman with Oklahoma?
That's the biggest question. I think it's certainly possible. I've talked with Porter Moser multiple times about the challenges of scheduling and trying to get Loyola Chicago not only keeping it nationally relevant, but playing the kind of teams he wants to play. That's no longer going to be an issue for him. I mean, I did a story a couple years ago when they were coming off that Final Four, and Porter Moser wanted to schedule power conference opponents, not even necessarily at the home and home level for Loyola Chicago, but even a 2-for-1, meaning we'll go play at your place twice. You just come to Loyola, play us once on our home floor. Couldn't get it done. This has been a major, major frustration for him, and he's been vocal about it. And so here at Oklahoma, he gets the opportunity. Can he be as successful at Oklahoma as he was at Loyola Chicago? Clearly the biggest question. I have to include that Joe Castiglione, the athletic director at Oklahoma, since he's had the job, and we're going on more than 25 years at this point, in all of the major sports there, women's basketball, men's basketball, and football, he's yet to really have a bad hire. There hasn't been a misfire yet. His reputation is at the highest of the highs, Castiglione's in the industry. And so in hiring Moser, if anything, in college basketball circles and in college athletic circles, Hakeem, this will be seen as the right choice, at least initially. I think he can come close, but if you're asking me if Porter Moser is going to take Oklahoma to a Final Four, I can't blindly say that that's a likelihood. I think he's going to have a decent chance, though.
Matt Norlander with the latest here on CBS Sports HQ. Porter Moser headed to Oklahoma. And for more with Matt and Gary Parrish, check out the Eye on College Basketball podcast. It is a must-listen for any college basketball fan. Final Four preview, including picks against the spread, the Eye on College Basketball podcast. Download and subscribe today. And our coverage continues here from Indianapolis as we set the stage for the Final Four and the National Championship on Monday. You're watching CBS Sports HQ. Keep it locked.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.